there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse. In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive.
Drugs are menacing our society.
We don't call it a disease to let people off the hook. Some people, as soon as you start talking about addiction being a disease, they don't want to listen to that, especially people who aren't addicts, who are trying to take care of somebody who's an addict. They think, well, if they were just a good person, if they really wanted to stop, they could stop. If they loved me enough, they would stop. And that's just not the case. We have a biological drive that's running this compulsion, this craving. It comes from our brain. It's a disease of the brain. A disease of the brain, some people have this disease and some people don't. A good example might be somebody with diabetes. If we're looking at the disease process, a disease model. I didn't ask to be a diabetic. I didn't choose to be a diabetic, but I may be born as a diabetic. And once I had this problem, I have a responsibility to take care of that disease. It's not absolving me of any responsibility. I still have to eat the right foods and do the right things and see the doctor and take the right medicines, or else I die of that disease. Addiction is the same kind of process as a chronic disease. If I don't live up to my responsibility in taking care of that disease, I'm going to die of this disease, because it's a fatal disease. That's why we call it a disease. The American Medical Association has listed a chronic disease as something that is chronic, progressive, and fatal. Chronic, it doesn't get better on its own. Progressive, it gets worse with time, and fatal if untreated. Addiction meets all three of those criteria, just the same way that asthma or hypertension or diabetes or many other chronic diseases meet those criteria.